Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today we're going to be previewing the Houston Texans matchup against the Tennessee Titans for Week 15, and the Texans just gave some bad news that C.J. Stroud is going to be doubtful for Sunday's game with a concussion. That's not a surprise, just an official notice. Nico Collins has also been ruled out. Also, not only that, but Will Anderson Jr. and Blake Cashman have been ruled out. A lot of other injuries for the Texans in this Week 15 game. Davis Mills is expected to be the starting quarterback, and I'm not too mad about it. Look, this Texans team is facing a Tennessee Titans team. Yes, a Tennessee Titans team with Will Levis, who just had a great performance and beating the Dolphins. That was a great win. Will Levis showed some really good things. But the Titans have been a little bit of an inefficient team this year. I think it would definitely be very interesting to see, if the Titans look the same that they did on last Monday night against the Dolphins. And I think even without C.J. Stroud and all the other guys that the Texans are missing in this game, I believe it is a winnable game for the Texans. Obviously, you're going to have to go out there and play your best football without Stroud, WAJ, and Blake Cashman, and all the other Nico Collins, all the other guys that are missing. I'll go for the full injury report in just a minute. But I believe it is a winnable game. And I'll tell you why. Like Davis Mills, look at what he did last year. Obviously, he was not good. He was solid. But he did have his moments last year where he was a solid quarterback. And if you look at the surrounding that he is around now compared to what he was last year, I'm talking about offensively wise. I mean, obviously, you're without Tank Dell and Nico Collins. But if you look at the offense that's going to be around Davis Mills on Sunday, if he is the starter, that offense is way better, and the team is way better than it ever was with Davis Mills. I mean, all right, let's look at what the offense is next to Davis Mills. So here are the guys he's throwing the ball to. Now this player is questionable. I think he probably will play. Noah Brown. We'll see if he plays. But Noah Brown, Robert Woods, John Mechie, Xavier Hutchinson, and then your tight end Dalton Schultz. And then for your running backs, you have Devin Singletary and Dameon Pierce. Obviously, Dameon Pierce is the only guy that I just mentioned that was playing with Davis last year. Obviously, John Mechie was on the team, but he was not healthy due to having leukemia. So I know that's not the same as having Nico Collins or Tank Dell or C.J. Stroud, but those guys right there, that's better than anybody, that Mills threw the ball to last year. Obviously, Brandon Cooks is great, but that's one guy. That's one guy. And Nico Collins, we can talk about Nico Collins. But Nico Collins was not as good as last year as he was this year. Obviously, Nico was very solid last year. He was a very solid wide receiver last year. But was not as good as he is this year. Also, can we not talk about the coaching changes this team has made and how better this team is defensively? Like, Davis last year could have had a good game. Like, let me give you an example. Like the Texans playing the Cowboys or the Chiefs last year. I know those are two good teams, but Davis had two good games right there, and the Texans give up a lot of points. Like, Davis could have a good game, but that defense would give up 30-plus points. And that defense last year was terrible, and they give up a lot of points. But now this is a D'Amico-led defense. I know they have some guys out with Will Anderson Jr., Blake Cashman. But even with those two guys out and a couple other guys out, this defense is still way better than they were last season by far. And their coaching system is way better than they were last year. So if you look at any point of what Davis was at last year, this situation for him is way better. I'm telling you guys, Davis Mills will look like a different quarterback in this game than he was last year. He's not going to look like C.J. Stroud has looked. I don't even think he'll be half of what C.J. Stroud has been this season in this game against Tennessee. But I think Davis Mills will be 2 times better than he was at any point last season because of the surroundings, the guys he's going to be with on offense, the guys he is throwing the ball to compared to the guys he was throwing the ball to last season. The coaching staff, Bobby Slowick is the offensive coordinator, D'Amico Ryans is the head coach, and the defense to back him up. I like the Texans' chances with Davis Mills. I really do. Let's go over the injury report, though. C.J. Stroud, doubtful, concussion. Blake Cashman, out, hamstring. Will Anderson Jr., out, ankle. Tybee Thomas out with a hamstring injury. This gets worse. Now, Kaimi Fairbairn was on IR. Here's a good thing. With Davis Mills as a starter and C.J. Stroud out, or presumed to be out, the Texans, I don't trust Matt Amendola. I'm sorry. And he just got released on Tuesday, I believe it was. But, the Texans, we're going to need a kicker who can kick from the long range, because you never know. I mean, who knows if Davis is going to, how long Davis is going to, how long of a drive Davis might be able to pull out. But I think that to have a kicker who can kick 50 plus, that's going to be great. Because I think the Texans have really missed Kaimi Fairbairn since he got hurt against Tampa Bay. Malik Collins questionable with a chest injury. Henry Toto, questionable with a hamstring injury. Noah Brown, questionable with a knee injury. George Fant, questionable with a hip injury. Shaq Mason, questionable with a calf injury. DeAndre Houston Carson, questionable with the illness. He'll probably play. Yeah, this gets worse. Nico Collins is out. MJ Stewart, IR. Tegan Quatanaro, IR. Eric Murray, IR. Tank Dell, IR, injured reserve. Jared Patterson, IR, injured reserve. Dylan Horton, personal, NFL. He's out for a while, but it's not injury related. Titus Howard out for the season, knee injury, IR, injured reserved. Hassan Ridgeway, injured reserved. Graylin Arnold, injured reserved. Expected return was week 15, so he's not back yet. Kendrick and Kenyon Green out for the season. This injury list for the Texans, it's bad. It's the injury bug is what is going to kill this season for the Texans. But let's just hope Davis can go out with the guys that he has in offense. Obviously, he's going to be missing some guys. Let's hope he can go out there and use the guys he has and try to get the Texans a win. Here, get into my keys of the game. I mean, with Davis back out there at quarterback for the Texans, C.J. Stroud's gone. Listen, what the Texans do when, with C.J. Stroud, what their first go-to is passing the football. But when Davis Mills was the quarterback, the Texans were a run-first team with the Texans last year. So I am actually seeing a good game from Dameon Pierce here, or Devin Singletary. I think both of them have a good game. I think this is a good game for both guys. I mean, this is a chance with Mills at the quarterback. Tennessee doesn't have the best run defense either. This is a chance for Dameon Pierce and Devin Singletary to have a good game. I really think we're about to see a really good game from Dameon Pierce. I'm thinking he's about to get an 80-plus rushing yard game. That's going to be where we get the yards there, especially if Noah Brown is out. I mean, because then your number one wide receiver is, you're hoping from big plays from Robert Woods or Dalton Schultz. We know Schultz can do it, but what I'm saying is if Noah Brown is out, the ball is going to be going to Dameon Pierce a lot. So I'm seeing a big game from Dameon Pierce, especially with Tennessee not having the strongest run defense. But I'm seeing a big game from Dameon Pierce. I think this Texans defense hold their ground. I see Tennessee still putting up 20 points on them. But I think Davis Mills has a solid performance. And I don't think I've ever said the Texans. I think I've once or twice this season I've said the Texans will lose. And a part of me does feel like the Texans might lose this one, especially just looking at that injury report. But I'm just feeling confident about Davis Mills on Sunday. And I'm going to say the Texans, where Davis Mills got a win last year in Tennessee, I'm going to say the Texans have also won in Tennessee 2 straight times. I'm going to say the Texans make that a 3rd straight win in Tennessee and beat the Tennessee Titans 22-20. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Learn our thoughts on the game in the comment section. And peace out. Go Texans.